Our lives can follow the patterns of our emotions. So that when we give our emotions a very huge role in our lives, which emotions do play. But what I want to say, and this is a very personal rule that I believe in, that we need to allow our emotions to be aligned with thinking. Hello and welcome to Expansion Revolution Nuggets. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's an exciting time and we are dealing with personal assessment, a strategic platform that allows you to be able to sit and see how far you are going. I like it when I evaluate myself because as much as I try, I try hard to be always getting, objective feedback from people who are around me. But I can tell you, sometimes it's easier for you to be able to sit yourself down and evaluate yourself before you are evaluated. One of the things that I've recognized in my life is when people come to give me feedback on something that I need to improve on or to work on or I've done that or I've not done right. It's easier when I've done assessment over myself, and I've also seen that I need to check that, I need to check that. When the area is aligned, it's all normally easier for me to get feedback on such area and to work on it. So we all would have occasions where we need to tell us on this, improve on this. It's part of growth. You need to be able to take feedback. But sometimes there may be no people around you to give feedback, and you need to learn the art of giving yourself feedback. It is called what? Personal assessment. It gives you an opportunity, the science of self-evaluation, to look at yourself and say, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? What can I improve? And I've said the aim of personal assessment is to improve and get things done in a better way. And today we are in, this is episode number 4, and we are looking at how we can evaluate ourselves. And I've started by talking about how you have to evaluate your thinking, because we are all products of our mental thoughts, and how far we go is dependent by the level of our thinking, and the level of our thinking is influenced by the level of our exposure. The level of our exposure is also a product of various other factors. So it's important, make sure that you are able to evaluate your thinking so that you don't dwell in the land of negativity and hope for the fruits of prosperity where you are. So today I want us to ask the question, how are you emotionally? We have asked the question, how is your thinking? So today we want to focus on how is your emotions? How are you? How is your level of emotions? Are you up? Are you down? Are you sad? Are you happy? Are you fluctuating in between? How are you emotionally? Maybe right now your emotions are all over. I mean, you are running in the forest, you are falling up from a big building. I mean, you feel like sleeping the whole day, like you feel like not talking to anyone. You feel like giving up in life. You feel like, there are no people to trust. You feel like, life is not exciting. I don't know where you are today. But here's what I have to say. You need to evaluate your emotional status, because sometimes our lives follows our emotional status. I think that is important. Our lives can follow the patterns of our emotions. So that when we give our emotions a very huge role in our lives, which emotions do play. But what I want to say, and this is a very personal rule that I believe in, that we need to allow our emotions to be aligned with thinking. That's a very important key process. And I think you can also check research on it. It is important for you to allow your emotions, be an emotional person, live in your emotion, immerse yourself in your emotions. But when your emotions are taking you into the world that reason cannot back, please check them. Yeah, the best way for you to manage your emotions, to make sure that you're of thinking. Because when you are like that, your life is not being led by how you think. By how you feel, is led by thinking that can be made objective. Majority of us get stuck in our emotions, and because you see, here's the problem about our emotions and about feelings in general language is that, feelings come and go. So if you feel it this way, you are up. If you feel this way, you are down. You need to be able to settle. Emotions are like waves. They go up and down. And sometimes we would experience both moments. And that's how life is. You'll be one day in a very good place and you'll one day be in a bad place. But here is what being in control allows you to be. It allows you never to be so much in the corner of the wave where you are too down not to take yourself up. It allows you to be able to recognize when you are down and what skills you can apply for you to raise yourself up so that you can be able to cope. I think that's why we are talking about it today. That maybe right now you are feeling like giving up, you're feeling like nothing good is going to be taking place. And maybe your feelings are so wrong, but right now they've just caused all of your thinking to shut up and your system have just collapsed because of feelings. And maybe the product of those feelings, which is what have triggered those emotions, was wrong, or it was a wrong interpretation of the circumstance. But now you have just allowed your whole life to collapse. Many of you listening to me as adults, you remember a moment or an occasion where you allowed your feelings to, just take your life down, and only to recognize later that you wasted time and energy because of how you felt, and the source that triggered how you felt was wrong, and therefore it was not necessary for you to have felt that.